The dominant plays an important role in determining and reaffirming the key of a piece of music. It creates a degree of tension that resolves naturally to the tonic or home chord in both major and minor keys. As we'll learn, because of this strong pull towards the tonic, the dominant can be used to effectively prepare a change to any key, even distantly related keys, opening up your songwriting options. First, let's recap on how we can find the dominant of any key on the neck. Let's say we were in the key of C major or minor. We might find the tonic root of C on the 5th string at the 3rd fret. The dominant root can be found on the same fret on the 6th string, directly below the tonic. This is the equivalent of a perfect 5th interval, and the degree on which the dominant or 5 chord naturally resides. Therefore, G would be our dominant root. Or we might find the root of C on the 6th string at the 8th fret. In relation to this position, the dominant root would lie 2 frets up on the 5th string. We can of course apply this tonic-dominant root relationship to any key. Familiarize yourself with the sound of this relationship as it occurs frequently in music. Now, this tonic-dominant relationship can be used to help us move more naturally into a new key. The first method we're going to look at demonstrates the powerful function of the dominant, as we can use it to transition into distantly related keys. Here I'm playing a simple E major key progression. Now I'm going to make a key change to F major, which is considered a distant key to E major. However, by finding the dominant of F major, which is C, and building a dominant 7th chord on that degree, we can signpost the way more purposefully into our new key. Now, it's up to you where you go with this new key, but if we wanted to eventually move back into E major, we can simply use the same dominant signpost to direct us back, with B7 being the dominant of E major. We could also use the dominant of F, C7, to move into the key of F minor, setting a completely new mood for the piece. Another example, starting in the key of C major. There we used A7 as the dominant of our destination key, D major, and back to C major using its dominant of G. We could even modulate through multiple dominants and tonics before we finally land in our destination key. Remember, we can also use suspended chords in the dominant position. These can also help us to move more smoothly into distant keys. A good rule of thumb is, if your key change sounds too disjointed, try introducing the dominant of the destination key just before the change to help prepare it. The dominant can also be supported by the subdominant or 4 chord in preparing key changes, giving us a 4-5-1 resolution. The subdominant root can be seen as lying 2 frets down from the dominant root on the same string. Therefore, in the key of C, for example, F would be our subdominant and G our dominant. In the key of G major, we could change to the key of F major by playing through that new keys 4 and 5, B flat major and C major respectively. Or to A major by using A majors 4 and 5 of D major and E major. And we can do a similar thing with minor key changes. Typically, you'll hear the tonic minor chord become the 4 of the new key. For example, E minor becomes the 4 of B minor. B minor becomes the 4 of F sharp minor. F sharp minor becomes the 4 of C sharp minor. And so on. Notice how in that last movement the dominant resolves just as naturally to a major as it does minor tonic. Similar to the 4-5-1 key change, we can also use the 2 chord, also known as the supertonic, and typically a minor chord, to lead us through a dominant-based key change. The 2 chord root can be found in the following positions in relation to the tonic and dominant. 2 frets up from the tonic root is an easy way to visualize it. 2-5-1 is a very common turnaround in jazz music and a very natural way to modulate to new keys. Take this chromatic key change from G major to A flat major. We could use the 2 and 5 of A flat major to move into our new key. And back into G major using its 2 and 5. We can even make a parallel change from major to minor tonic and use that minor chord as the 2 of the destination key. Sometimes we might want to resolve our 2-5 to the relative minor tonic of the new key. This can be seen as 2 frets up from the 5. Here, instead of resolving our 2-5 to C major, we resolve up to its relative A minor key. And if you're on a minor tonic, that can become the 2 chord that links to the 5, giving us a path into a new key, whether major or minor. Here, instead of resolving our 2-5 to G major, we resolve up to its relative E minor. And here we turn the E minor tonic into the 2, leading through the 5 to a new key of D major. We can also use the natural 7th degree chord as part of a 2-5-1 key change. Let's say we started in the key of D major. We might move down 1 fret to the key's 7th degree chord. This then becomes the 2 of the destination key. We typically build a half diminished 7th chord on that new 2nd degree, also called a minor 7 flat 5 chord. An example, starting in E flat major, moving into C major. And from C major into A major. Remember that in all these examples, we can move into a minor tonic as well as major. So there are 3 main types of dominant-based key change. We can simply move straight to the dominant of the new key, or we can prolong and more effectively prepare the transition into our new key by playing 4-5-1 or 2-5-1. And remember, following the dominant, the new tonic can be major or minor, your choice. By utilizing such key changes in your songwriting, you'll have the freedom to take your song in new directions, inspire new chord progression ideas, or maybe just give the chorus an extra lift. Visit the lesson page for more help with the concept covered in this video. Please also don't forget to like and share if it's helped. Cheers.